Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys. Happy Thursday. It's been quite the week of markets already. Yesterday was especially interesting for reasons that we will absolutely discuss on today's show. Whether it was Bitcoin breaking above 110K or whether or not it was the bond market yesterday afternoon. We'll talk about what is important and what you should be paying attention to. But first, I'm Tommy. You guys also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Max Tucker and, of course, Chef Jackus. Welcome, guys. Coming into kind of close to the end of the week, right? Especially when prices are going up, I feel like time tends to fly by. But I kind of make that joke every other show. It feels like I definitely make it every week at this point. But yeah, let's before we can get too deep into the market and I can stop yapping about how quickly the weeks can go by in markets. I'm going to ask if you guys can smash the like button, like Bitcoin is trying to smash its all-time high currently, right? 111K. If you are a numerology supporter, this should please you. I'm sure we'll see some screenshots of like 6 ones consecutively on Bitcoin price at some point. If I don't, I'll be a little bit disappointed, quite frankly. But yeah, if you guys could hit the like button for us, we would be very, very appreciative. Let's get a breakout on the like buttons, which have been a little bit depressed here along with the market, but I think also along with the market, they're kind of curling up. They're showing us that a breakout might be imminent, especially on some of these altcoins, right? But yeah, let's talk about it. Because yesterday was, I think, a really interesting day. Bitcoin just keeps doing like this wonky chop near all-time high, which is not completely surprising, right? I mean, behaviorally, we usually see Bitcoin suck up liquidity from altcoins, tends to be a little bit choppy before you officially can enter price discovery. I think some of that is psychological, some of that is based on positioning, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the bottom line is, I don't think that sort of trading on Bitcoin is completely out of the ordinary, right? And at the same time, you have altcoins trying to break out, but obviously still lagging, waiting for Bitcoin to make the first move. And I think then you had some, I think it was a 20-year bond auction that went particularly bad. Treasuries started nuking. The bond market threw a tantrum yesterday. Of course, we'll probably talk about what that means for prices on this show as well. But, if the reaction of the equity market is anything to go off of, they're going to keep selling treasuries and equities are still going up, right? I mean, the VIX structure does not seem constructive enough to be able to move equities materially lower, and as a result, crypto should continue this outperformance that we've seen. I'm very interested to see how we trade into the end of the month. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what we have going on later tonight, which is the Trump dinner, right? I know there was a lot of people probably think, well, maybe this is the end of the saga for Trump token. One of the things that I've noticed from a positioning standpoint that I find pretty interesting is how elevated implied volatility seems to be into the Trump dinner. So maybe we are teeing up some form of announcement. Maybe we don't get one and the market doesn't like that. I guess we'll just have to see. But I think people are kind of positioned in a way that hints, well, maybe we are getting an announcement tonight. Maybe it's just a nothing burger. We'll talk about it on the show. Like I said, guys, I'd love to know what we're seeing in the market right now. I think there's so many different things going on. And ultimately a lot to be excited about when I look across the board at a lot of these altcoins, guys. And Bitcoin, it's basically at all-time highs. So, like, again, I should have to say that when I talk about opportunities that are exciting. But, like, Bitcoin's at $111,000 right now.
Yeah, it looks unbelievable. It looks unbelievable.
Like a lot of people are kind of mad about where Bitcoin's at. So I'm trying to gauge sentiment.
Yeah, and it's understandable, right? Because ETH is not where Bitcoin is, of course, but this is what we need, right? This is what we need for ETH and SOL to actually start moving up, and sorry, my dog is whining, for altcoins to actually do something. You need Bitcoin to be putting in a move like this. So even if it's, like we've said, like even if it's a liquidity vacuum short term, that's kind of what is needed, right? So I don't know. I mean, this breakout, like I was looking at the weekly yesterday. I mean, this line aside, I still am unable to delete this line. I literally don't know why. It's unbelievable. But this was the highest weekly close. We just melted through it, bounced off of it. I mean, I would look for up here, honestly, if we're talking about a pit stop. I don't think I'm on long, am I? No, I'm not. 130, basically 130 would be a nice pit stop, but that's really, you want to talk about like a market structure break to the upside, right? That's that to a T. So,
and I think a lot of people are hyper focused on altcoins. And I put out a tweet last night and I basically just said, guys, just cheer for Bitcoin here. Like when we get that official confirmation breakaway, which is probably like a daily close above like 113, 114, 115. With how Bitcoin dominance looks here, which to me looks like it's coming in for a bearish retest, you're going to see altcoins absolutely go insane if we can get that confirmation from Bitcoin. Like that's all that's happening is altcoins are just pinned right now. And as soon as Bitcoin gives that full-blown confirmation, the breakaway, because right now, like we're cooking, but it hasn't given that absolute confirmation that like we're not going to pull back to 107 or something like that yet. I think you're going to get it soon, but just cheer for Bitcoin. Like you want to see Bitcoin 113, 114, 115 daily close confirmation. At that point, I think there's a really, really low likelihood that we get some big pullback. When we get that confirmation from Bitcoin, alts are going to go nuts. I think you're going to see ETH up at like 3,500, 3,400 pretty quickly. I mean, don't even get me started on something like Pepe. I mean, it's just going to be, it's going to be a feeding frenzy for altcoins, man, once we get that Bitcoin confirmation. So just cheer for Bitcoin right now. Everything should kind of sit still, maybe tail Bitcoin up a little bit. You're seeing a lot of altcoins looking really perky, kind of grinding into their local highs. They're not going to pop until Bitcoin puts in that like, okay, we're not looking back type of candle. So just wait for that. Just cheer for Bitcoin right now.
I think in any regard, this is absolutely amazing. Again, like for the first time in history, Bitcoin has rated new all-time highs ahead of SPX. And yeah, I still kind of think we get a technical correction, but I think from a macro perspective, I think BTC is shaping up for the massive breakout in the following months that we discussed so many times. And I do agree that once we like leave this area for good, the road to 200K is like probably very quick, especially after all the time we spent around here since November.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because, I mean, you have Bitcoin, which is, it's like you said, Jack, it's made all-time highs before equities. And I don't think that equities are about to like pull the equivalent move that Bitcoin is probably teeing itself up for from a price discovery standpoint. But it also really doesn't matter. I kind of feel like Bitcoin has become, and I think meme coins to a lesser extent, but obviously once Bitcoin kind of gives them the green light, they'll be also in this category. They're kind of like canaries in the coal mine, as far as I know we used to abuse that figure of speech in like 2023, but yeah, they're kind of like canaries in the coal mine for big shifts in monetary policy or liquidity. And I think the stress that we're seeing in the bond market right now, I mean, it's it's always narratives following price at the end of the day, but I think people like Arthur Hayes were able to see kind of this regime shift months in advance. And Bitcoin, I think, is an asset that we're seeing sniff out these changes way ahead of the rest of most of the market.
Yeah, Arthur actually was really spot on, man. Like he nailed it, honestly. He's been absolutely killing it, which is cool to see. But yeah, I mean, we're just kind of all waiting.
I haven't been following. What exactly was he saying?
Well, he predicted some of the turmoil, obviously, that we had in Q1, how it would lead to kind of like the stealth QE or explicit QE and rate cuts, which would ultimately send Bitcoin higher. So I mean, he was banging the drum for, I think like probably mid 6-figure Bitcoin back at the low. After calling, I think the Pico highs in, when was it? When was that we put those highs in on Bitcoin? The last ones. I guess it was at the start of the year, or like November, December.
Yeah, I just remember at like low 80s, he was like, we're going to go straight up in a straight line, basically. And we kind of did that. So
we for sure did that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think one thing too to note is like Bitcoin is now back above 70 on the monthly RSI, which is typically when things get kind of out of control. Maybe Tucker, you'd be a gentleman and pull up monthly RSI.
Of course, monthly.
Like this is when we typically, you maybe go to not the Binance chart, maybe go to like one with more price history.
Yeah, let's do the index.
This is typically when things get really, really nutty. Is Bitcoin can stick this landing up here. Monthly RSI above 70 is when this is when all the YouTube moon boys with their goofy thumbnails end up being right for like 6 months and then obviously lose everything again and then, rinse, repeat. You know what I mean? But
can you do one of those faces, 70. Max?
Nah, I can't do it. They'll clip me. You can come off camera and you do it. Your face reveal will be the moon boy face. They'll clip me too hard, bro.
The craziest Bitcoin move you've ever seen.
Yeah. Literally.
I mean, honestly, like it's never really like, it's just gone straight up before, kind of. It hasn't like done this.
I mean, if we can basically do what we did in every other site, can you draw like a line at maybe like 87 on monthly RSI, Tucker?
Yeah.
87. If we can kind of get up into that region, I mean, that's ultimately the goal, is like if we're really going to go nuts here.
Yeah, we're at 70 now.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even say like 90, really 90. 90's kind of the minimum you'd look for a top.
And I actually like that we chop solidated below that for so long. I think that's actually a really unique, distinct difference or characteristic of this cycle than previous ones, where to me, I look at that and I say, we've basically just built like a giant base here, basically above like 65K, 60K, whatever. And this is the real move that should be beginning soon. It was tough to get through all these, consolidations, but this is where we should start to really see like acceleration without question. So I don't know. I've been saying this for a while. I keep saying it and maybe it sounds goofy. I have negative interest in trying to like get cute right here at all. I think the wind is at our back. I think the expectation should be that we're overbought on every time frame for a while. You shouldn't get these like crazy momentum resets if we're going to really expand here. Like you should see, monthly, weekly, 2-week, 5-day, 3-day, 2-day, 1-day, 12-hour RSIs, all just like refusing to break down below like 60, even on like local corrections. That the bar should be shifted. Like we should be going up. We should be breaking away very, very soon. I'm not going to be fading this kind of strength. Like I've waited too long. I've waited too long for this setup. And like I look at Bitcoin here in price discovery, sentiment is like horrible. You'd think that people are like, nobody owns any spot crypto. Like apparently all of CT is just leverage scalping.
Spot Bitcoin. I think lots of people own spot altcoins, but they don't own spot Bitcoin.
But there's a lot of altcoins that are looking really good here that are at least like big off their lows. You know what I mean? But I hear what you're saying. Like if somebody's just like full porting ETH, they're cooked. But
I mean, ETH is still like, I think 100 XGK said it really well today in Discord, saying that like somehow he managed to be sidelined. Sorry, man, if you're listening, this entire time from the lows. But the fact is that the prices are still lower than when he sold at 3K in February. And I think this is the reason. Because although prices up are like nicely from the lows, they are still not as high compared to where they were, at the beginning of the year for most of these alts. And I think, again, I think that euphoria and alt season generally begins truly when ETH is above 4K.
Well, I think that could happen very soon. Like, I actually think ETH could be pushing 3,500 within the next like 10 days, if I'm being honest. Like, I think if the conditions are met and Bitcoin goes to 113, 14, 15 weekly close, I think ETH's going to put in one of those famous meat stick candles. When ETH squeezes, she really squeezes. So I think the time to buy back in on your altcoins, if you were savvy enough to de-risk at an advantageous point, I think that that window is closing. If I'm being honest, that's my own feeling about it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
well, I think rebuying right now is probably not the case. You kind of want to wait for the break here to confirm, because like from my point of view, there are still plenty of visible risks currently in the market showing, and the market could, again, BTC is absolutely looking phenomenal. I think it goes way higher in the coming months. I think ETH too. And in that sense, if you just hodl through anything, I think you'll be pretty fine. At the same time, I think like this is like alt hasn't really broken here, and BTC kind of overextended as well, so they can still drop pretty decently from here. But if they manage to climb, so I'm only saying that I do not think this is the spot. I think if what is to come, right? Like if ETH is truly to continue to rally to, to 4K and then 6, 10K, whatever the numbers are going to be in the coming months and years, it kind of doesn't matter for you if you rebuy here or if you rebuy slightly higher for those that are sidelined. But you would have it on the brink of the confirmation. But it just maybe.
We should probably talk about the John Brown quote. Now that
he gave an update today, didn't he, Tom?
Yeah, he did.
He did. He said, "Let's go," right? I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Bitfinex? Is that what you said?
So our long-time viewers know my dubious speculation about John Brown. If you don't know who John Brown is, he's like this. I mean, he's probably bigger than nine figures at this point. This 9-figure whale, Bitcoin and Tether maxi that trades on Bitfinex. Gee, I wonder who that could possibly be. Like, how big of a pool of people is that actually applicable to? But yeah, I mean, he's had this quote for a long time based on, obviously the asks that we've had set up to 110K, basically just that the path to 110K will be cumbersome and long. And then when we come out of it, we'll enter a fast track towards 200K. And yeah, he updated that today and said, "Let's go. We are above 110K. But I mean, look, if you think that John Brown is Bitfinex, well, I don't know. Make of that what you will. I don't fade John Brown, though, man. I don't fade John Brown.
Yeah. I mean, he said that a long time ago, too. So
Yeah. Yeah, that was years ago. I mean, yeah, it kind of looks, put the magnet up there. Looks good.
I want to show you guys an interesting chart at some point.
An interesting chart, you say?
What about this point? What if the point is now?
Oh, at some point. The point is right now, Max.
All right. I'm going to Tommy it right now,
No,
disrespectfully.
no, no. You don't say
No.
it. You just do it.
Yeah.
No. Here's the thing. I didn't. You can say it. I didn't ask it. That's the key.
Okay.
Is I
All right.
told you. I said you're about to be disrespected. I'm gonna tell
For
you the
real.
chart right now. I didn't say can I do it. I just did it. You understand?
True.
I wouldn't expect you guys to understand. Okay, the art of the Tommy is something that many you have to work on it. Okay,
You wouldn't get it.
you wouldn't get it. All right. So first of all, Hype looking tremendous, right? Hype is like, I mean, honestly, $78 waiting room, right? Hype is just looking like an absolute giga Chad. We were watching this $28 level for quite some time. Said if you can flip this kind of all-time high supply region, there is Colorado thin air all the way to new highs. Real thin air. You need to bring your oxygen tank for this one. Now, I'm not even interested in Hype. I'm interested in Purr. Okay. Their meme coin. So one, we've been buying Purr down here. The boys have been shoving. We're holding. We're looking good. Local range high retest. You got this little mid range right here. Now, for those of you that know my style, you know it's all about the pairs, right? So Purr, the official meme coin of Hyperliquid, it's a cat. We love cats, right? Let's look at the Purr Hype pair chart. Look at this. Ooh. That looks to me like Purr is wanting to break out against Hype. So what we have is Hype looking like it's the all-time high waiting room, looking really, really good. And what we have here is the official meme coin of Hyperliquid paired against the official token of Hyperliquid. And it looks to be a bullish compression that wants higher. I haven't taken any crazy positions, but I did, I did scoop a bit. Just enough to kind of wet the beak. But I don't know. This looks kind of juicy to me. I'd love to get some Tommy thoughts on this one because Tommy shilled me Purr, man.
It looks so good. Especially I think like off log. I know
Never.
it's probably loggle season, but
I'll never do it. Always log.
No, I think it looks fantastic.
What do you think of this pair chart? Have you looked at the pair chart at all, Tommy?
I hadn't, but I still, now that Hype is about to enter price discovery, I think you're probably going to get like a big leg up on Hype. It's going to pull back, and then you're going to start to see Purr really outperform.
When this little trend line breaks here, the gray trend that I have, I mean, Purr is going to double pretty quickly. Again, I haven't taken any like crazy position in it, but like, it's just like another thing I added to the portfolio. It looks really juicy. It does. Like, I think this is going to just really, really outperform. So for those that missed Hype, check out Purr. Still very, very early to it, in my opinion. Wouldn't surprise me to honestly see some, just a ripper up into this region,
Because what's it at, like 90 mil?
It's at over 100 today. It's probably like 110, something like that. So yeah, just wanted to share that. I thought it was an interesting setup because I love the pairs, man. I love the pairs, and like you just go through it, right? And it's like I would never fade this chart. I mean, Hype looks incredible. Purr looks incredible. And then pairing them against each other tells me everything I need to know about which one I should be holding. So, yeah, fries in the bag. That's right. Fries in the bag. Louis Meatstick in the comments. What's Mr. Meatstick up to? Keep it pumping, boys. I'm about to take off. All right, Meat. We got you.
All right, Meat.
What is the Purr meme about, or is it just ticker that's from Hype and that's
it's the official meme coin of Hyperliquid. Like, there's not any dilution.
Cat Jackus.
But let me jump in on that real quick.
It is the mascot.
Jackus, what noise does a cat make? Not meow, but they also purr. You know how they do that, like that kind of thing?
That sounds like a fart.
Yeah, they do that. Right? So cat's purr. It's called Hyper Liquid.
Okay.
Purr, and it's a cat meme, and it's their official meme. And obviously, like, you know, Hyper Liquid's going to be, I mean, it already is, but continuing to show good reason for you to be interested as an investor this cycle.
Say no more. Full port pure.
Yeah, full port. Take my money. I didn't take any crazy position, but you know, enough to be like if it gives a nice ripper, you know, it'll be a nice little payday. So, anyways, just wanted to show that setup. You know, I know we talk about a lot of like the same tickers here, and this is kind of a new one. Bought a little bag of it the other night. But I think it's a really interesting setup for those that are looking for like a pretty, in my view, a pretty low risk, like new meme play. Feels like a little bit of a layup to me. So,
what about some of the CZ meme coins? What do you guys think of those?
Too much crime for me.
Too much? You want a little bit?
I want a
less?
little bit of crime. That's too much crime for me.
Pull up like BNB, Max. Is BNB looking? Tommy, have you looked at BNB recently?
I was looking at it after Jack has mentioned it on the morning call.
I mean,
I don't know how much like upside I'm expecting from this asset, but it doesn't look bearish at this point, right?
it doesn't look.
It's crime on the chart. Like, what is this range?
I mean, I think it's one of those things that it's just gonna wait for Bitcoin to give that confirmation, and then we're, you know, it's gonna rip. It is full of crime, but you know, it's bullish crime.
And then in 5 months it goes up thousands of %, and then it's over.
I mean, it's I wouldn't fade this chart, man. I mean, it looks. I wouldn't want to trade it. I'd maybe have some spot exposure to it, but I'm also like, I have other spot exposure. Like, I don't. We're above our. I mean, like this is a year-long value area. We're above it. We're trying to break out diagonally here. I don't really know what I don't know what the concern here would be. It's just.
I've been looking at this chart for a few months now. That I'm like, this is the weirdest chart I've seen in a long time. And the only thing I suppose I can think of it is, yeah, I suppose they'll climb it higher.
Yeah.
Price will not climb higher. Price will crime higher.
Yeah.
Very few understand.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I think BNB could be like the best bear market short among majors, but I don't really want to get too much thinking about the red button right now.
I thought ETH was the bear market short, Tommy.
I mean, they both will be, but I kind of think that BNB is going to be a little bit more tethered.
No. ETH was the bull market short.
A low blow.
Yeah.
Low blow.
To myself.
Everyone fall silent. We're done talking. I just realized something horrific. I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm not.
Hang on, Max.
I've been disrespected. I've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. I'm done. I'm simply done.
Flat out deceived.
Flat out deceived. It just.
See, that's how you Tommy a chart right there.
Actually, Tucker, wrong. This is the daily time frame, brother. There we go. 10 seconds. That's what you guys get today. You don't even get the daily time frame. The likes are so bad. So bad. You get the 10-second time frame. Soybean cash contracts brought to you by Pepperstone data providers. Listen, you are not going to get off the 10-second soybean cash contracts brought to you by Pepperstone chart on TradingView. You're not going to get off of it until the likes go up, man. It's egregious, man. We didn't even have 1/3 of you guys having liked the stream yet. You didn't have 1/3 of you.
Pepperstone, the official sponsor.
Oh, Jack.
That means that there's 2/3 of you guys that showed up here, and you're like, I'm gonna absorb this alpha, and I'm gonna absorb their effort, and I'm not even gonna show them support by moving my finger to press a button on my screen. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You know what? I'm going to call YouTube headquarters is what I'm going to do, because there's no way that that's accurate. I think there must be an issue with YouTube's platform that's not registering the likes, because I don't believe in my heart that you guys are capable of doing something like that, showing up and not hitting the like button. I know you guys too well. We do this show every day. It's uncharacteristic of you guys. It's 2 + 2 is I said coconut yesterday.
Fish.
2 + 2 is watermelon. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Let me just refresh this here, man.
That's a good one, Jack.
159 is pretty good. 159, yeah. That's right. That's exactly
good.
right. I wouldn't expect you to understand, but that's exactly right. I don't know. I mean, maybe we need to run a terminal commercial. You know,
I think so.
It's probably about that time. I mean, we dropped 22 new brand new proprietary trading view indicators yesterday. Prices are only going up. We're still running coupon codes just to kind of be nice, you know. But here's what's going to happen. I've seen this before. The market's going to rip. Everyone's going to be like, okay, now I want to buy these awesome products because they're world class. They're the best of their kind. There is no second best. Nobody comes close. BB Terminal, portfolio tracking, derivatives data, heat maps, spaghetti charts, 22 new, brand new proprietary custom built by BB trading view scripts that you get with your terminal subscription. Prices are going up as the market goes up. That's how we do things. Remember what happened with the Discord, guys? So what's going to happen is prices are going to go up. You're going to want the terminal. Then the price is not only going to go up, but you're not going to get a discount code like the ones we're offering right now. And it's like, then we're going to raise the bar for likes. And we're going to say, we don't need 250 likes for a discount code. We need 500, because then more people are going to start watching Market Check again. So it's like, unironically, you would be buying terminal early right now, you know? So yeah, you know, you might be that poor chick in the picture, and I might be the creepy guy holding the beer trying to convince you to buy terminal. But at the end of the day, you know, my intentions are good. You know, I'm just a guy trying to make conversation. You know, look how big my bicep is there too. I mean, look, guys, I'm going to run a commercial. I want the likes to be higher when we get back. You know, maybe we'll throw out a couple coupon codes again. I mean, I'm trying to help everybody here. You don't understand. That's the problem. It's like we get stuck looking at the soybean chart, Jackass's memes, which are hilarious, but it's like we'd rather be talking about alpha. But all you have to do is like and subscribe, mainly like, and then probably just, you know, check out the terminal with a coupon code. It's really simple. Like, this is a partnership. We show up, we provide alpha. You smash like button and you consider using our products. It's really simple. Everybody wins. We get dopamine rush from likes. You get awesome tools at a discount. You use these tools anyways. Why not get them from us? You know what I mean? It is what it is. Let's see how the likes are doing. We're going to run a little commercial and then we're going to come back. 178 ain't bad, guys. That ain't bad at all. But we are still going to run that commercial. We will see you guys in 55 seconds and we will bring back the alpha.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio, monitor the markets, stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal.
I mean, wow. Guys. I love the song, man. It hypes me up every time.
You see me dancing backstage?
I did. Yeah. I was thinking about putting you up on the screen while you were doing that too.
Thank you for not doing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It crossed my mind, but I was like, that'd be mean. That'd be mean. I can't do that.
That would be awesome. Tommy vibing. I love it. Always after the show.
Every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you what's going to happen with Pepe here, guys. Okay, it's almost like I've seen it before. Let me tell you what's going to happen here with Pepe. Okay. What's going to happen with Pepe is it's going to wait for Bitcoin to give that meat stick confirmation. Okay. I'll pull up Bitcoin down below. It's going to wait for this. We're getting close. Alts are pinned. They look good. They look coiled. Let's go to the daily time frame. And then let's throw on something like this. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. We are waiting for Bitcoin to confirm the meat stick breakout. I'm talking like, roughly 115 daily close. Okay. Give or take. And then what's going to happen is Pepe is going to flip this line right here. I put this in my 10-minute max video yesterday for those that saw. It was like 40 minutes. See this line on Pepe? You see what I'm talking about? See how significant this level is? Then we lost it over here. Now we're rejecting here again, right? When Bitcoin gives that confirmation, the 115, 116, like we're not looking back type of candle. You understand what I mean by that? The breakaway, the gap and go, we're not going to retest 105. We're not going to retest 107, the gap and the go candle. What's going to happen with Pepe is it's going to flip this green line, probably retest it, and then you're probably going to see new all-time highs within like 10 days of that point. It's going to happen very, 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 very quickly. Very quickly. So, like you can buy here or you can buy higher, up to you. But we are getting ready for the explosiveness. I think Pepe's got a 10x in it from this point. I do. Crazy to say. Doge went to 90 billion last cycle. SHIB went to over 50 billion last cycle. SHIB is a terrible meme. No one even knows what a SHIB is. Pepe's a Giga Chad meme.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody has a dying allegiance to SHIB. Every man, all my boys have dying allegiance to Pepe. I mean, it's the king frog, man. I mean, it's in a league of its own. You understand? So it's like all you're doing here by buying Pepe in this region or positioning in Pepe is making the assumption that, hey, Bitcoin is going to gap and go here without giving a pullback to like 105. Okay. If Bitcoin this weekend even gaps up to like 115 and we see a gap and go, we are in for a very, very special treat for Pepe, guys. Very, very special treat. It's going to be the leader. It's really simple. It's going to be the leader. Again, it's always the leader. And I'll even show you, I'll show you guys here on the terminal. Like why not? I'll show you what I mean by that on the terminal. Okay. I'll back it up. When I say it's going to be the leader, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's work on this together. So here's our spaghetti chart function on terminal. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with, what a spaghetti chart is. Let's color the let's color the tickers right here. Okay. So Bitcoin, we'll put ETH in like a blue of some sort. Oh, I put Bitcoin in the wrong color. Okay. We'll put ETH. I think I need to refresh actually. Hang on. Give me 1 second. This is an old page. Let me refresh it. Let me refresh it. Come on. I think my internet's laggy. All right, whatever. Let me just get it back up. We were lagging. Okay. Bitcoin, BNB, Sol, ETH. Let's add like Pepe. And then we're going to add on, I think another good one has been like XLM has been pretty strong. So let's go to like the 2 hour. Let's look at from when Bitcoin bottomed, okay? Because that's what we really want to know is when Bitcoin's trending up, how does the beta perform, guys? See what we have right here? This is Pepe, okay? Here's ETH, here's Sol, here's Bitcoin, here's XLM, here's BNB, okay? So when we look at this, we can say, all right, from the day of the Bitcoin bottom, what's been going on here? Look at Pepe outperforming everything. So if we're in a bullish Bitcoin regime, why would you not hold Pepe? Here's the data, guys. From the Bitcoin bottom, here's the performance. Man, someone just said Max never knows what he's talking about. That's a crazy thing to say to somebody that knows what they're talking about. That's wild. His name is Greaze. Wow. Well, I think actually I've just decided something after seeing that comment. He must be right. I think I've decided I'm going to shut the business down permanently. So you guys are now officially unemployed because Bitcoin ceases to exist. Yeah, man, I think at this point I probably need to just I'll just go teach golf lessons to middle schoolers. You know what I mean? Help them work on their short games. Dial in the low draw, the low fade, a little bit of control off the tee box.
Actually, you know what it is? You know what it is that really separates the pros from, at least me, maybe not you, is the chipping game. Okay.
Yeah.
That is where I get destroyed, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to sell you a package if you want, because now, because of what Greaze has said on Twitter, I'm shutting the business down. So it's official. So, his comment, it rings true. It absolutely, it struck a chord. Like he's spot on, man. It's not like I've literally 50x my net worth this cycle or anything like that publicly. I'm clearly, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, what I would like to do is I would actually love to give him the business. I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him the business. He's the new CEO because Bitcoin. He's better equipped to handle it. I'm now launching a new business called Because Golf. And Tucker, I'd be happy if you, as my first customer, I would love to sell you a package, buy 10, get 1 free. If you want just a little discount just to get you going, we'll start on the greens, work our way, wedges, short irons, mid irons, long irons. You know what I mean? I just think that's probably what I should be doing, man, because of 50x of your net worth publicly this cycle over the past 2 years, it just simply is not enough. You know what I mean? It should have been at least a 60 or a 70, but it just is not there, It's all verifiable on chain. People track my wallets, but I think I'm moving on to golf. If you have a middle schooler that you would like to, maybe have them try out for their middle school golf team, I would love to offer you a buy 10, get 1 free golf package for your middle schooler. Guys, it's been a pleasure, knowing you over the past couple years, but we've officially shut down. So you can thank Greaze. Okay. You can thank Greaze. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We love you all. It's been an epic 2 years.
I know you actually want to do the golf thing at some point, though. I know you do. You talk about it twice a week.
Yeah. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, man. Greaze, I love you and I'm praying for you, sir. There's a lot of pent up anger in there, and I can tell you sold the bottom. But just know that even if you hate me, I love you. And by the way, Greaze, if you want those golf lessons, I will still offer you the same deal I offered Tucker as my first customer. You buy 1 golf lesson, or I'm sorry, you buy 10, you get 1 free. Okay, so Greaze, you just send me a DM. We'll work out the details. We'll get your swing in shape. You'll be feeling much more bullish on me. Okay, I promise. I can get your swing dialed. You'll have a great summer.
Bullish on me.
Yeah.
Bullish on our golf swings.
Yeah, because bullish on golf swings.
That's a good question. Where is Shine? I haven't seen him in months.
Months. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Tales of market check past.
Pull up the heat map for us. Oh, he might have gotten a call.
Mr. Big Biz.
Yeah, I need to see a local heat map. That would be.
I kind of think somebody stop me if I'm getting a little bit too exuberant here. I kind of feel like I know we're talking about trading to 115, maybe like 116 is the lockout. But what if the lockout is like 120 or 130 on Bitcoin? And then you get a pullback, you know, kind of around the current prices. But, you know, still you're putting in a huge meat stick on Bitcoin that more or less confirms price discovery. What do you guys think about a scenario like that?
I can see that. I can see that. 120, 125, pull back to here.
Yeah.
Then go for 150.
Well, I think you probably go higher than 150 at that point, but yeah.
200.
I mean, I think we should be somewhat prepared for a scenario where Bitcoin is trading at like 200K this summer.
I'm prepared, Tommy. I think we're all prepared.
Especially if, because I know a lot of us are kind of in the camp that this cycle is more similar to 2017, 2018 than 2021.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, you know, I don't know how much more Bitcoin can realistically stair step before you are going, you know, trading more vertically than we have been. But maybe we go up and start forming another range. I think that would that would obviously suck. But no, I kind of think, I mean, options for June especially are just crazy bullish, right? I mean, one of the things I've kind of talked about in our Discord are the two largest strike prices for Bitcoin call options at the end of June are 120 and 300. I don't think we're going to 300K in June. You know, let me start by saying that.
So bearish, Tommy.
the slant of options has been overwhelmingly bullish for the summer. And, you know, when we look back historically kind of on how this cycle has played out, whenever the options market has been excessively bullish, we tend to pump the hardest.
Well, send it then. Let's go.
Max, I was asking when you went off camera, could you pull up a heat map for us, like locally?
Yeah, sorry, I had to turn my camera off. I was crying over some comments that people made about me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. My wife and son, I forgot my lunch at home today, and they came and dropped it off. So it was nice little visit.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it was super nice. You want a heat map of what?
Bitcoin. I mean, that's honestly, what is that, 12 hour? That's honestly good.
I mean, we probably need to even go lower. We're in price discovery. Let's check out like 1 week. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I just don't even know how it normally looks when we're in price discovery.
yeah, I mean, it's just bullish. I don't know. This is bullish. Let's look at the lower ones. We probably just need to focus on the lower time frames.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go 12 hour, even lower.
I mean, it's pretty clear that I don't think we're losing 106K until James Wynn, whoever that might be, right, closes that long out, because they've defended that 106 level pretty aggressively like 3 separate times. And maybe they're generating long liquidity to take, but I don't know. I kind of think if you're longing a yard of Bitcoin at resistance and just you keep twapping it, you maybe you know something, or maybe you're trying to initiate the breakout, but you know, I think 106 is going to get protected before higher prices.
Well, we are supposed to have well, not us, but Trump has some sort of dinner when he's supposed to announce something again. So maybe again, this
time
entity,
different. We always nuke when Trump speaks about crypto.
literally. But maybe this time is different. But you know, maybe this guy, whoever that is, knows truly something, or he is just, you know, pushing the price higher. It could be like 50-50.
I mean, he was positioned ahead of time for the Trump dinner announcement, so I guess we'll see.
Going to the dinner, if I had to guess.
He's probably going to the dinner. imagine watching a Hyperliquid mobile on your phone, babysitting at like $1 billion long while you go to dinner. I can't even imagine.
That's crazy. I find this chart to be really interesting, guys. These are just like the cycle. These are the Bitcoin cycle charts right here. So like 2 cycles ago is in the green, last cycle is in yellow, current cycle is in purple. We're kind of right on track. You know what I mean? It's looks like we should just kind of start ramping up into this region, similar to the other cycles. So it's interesting to just kind of look at this, you know, from an overlay perspective and just be like, yeah, you know, we're really not that far off from previous cycles. Like it's kind of doing more or less what it's always done. Like probably end up topping around the same time later this year, like, you know, below the yellow, you know, diminishing cycle returns. It's pretty simple. And we could bring it out into the bear market bottom. So we'll probably just like rip up into here and then nuke just like we always do. It really hasn't been that different, you know.
Definitely some catching up to do, though.
Yeah, time to play catch up. And here's the thing about it is like if we kind of view the cycles chart as an average, so remove the time-based component of it. And when I say that, I mean ignore that when the green cycle was happening, we didn't have the purple and yellow cycles already. Just view them as like just totally independent of time. These are just 3, you know, I guess 2 complete cycles and 1, you know, current cycle. Ignore the time-based component of them. You know, we've gone through these periods of time where, you know, early in the cycle, we've been way over the average and then like way below the average, you know, like in, you know, the yellow cycle. So last cycle, we came out of the gate really hot and then had a big correction, you know. In 2 cycles ago, we came out of the gates really slow and then, you know, ramped really quickly, right? And then over here in March, you know, this is our purple cycle. We were ahead of the previous 2 cycles. See this? How Bitcoin in March was ahead of the previous 2 cycles. And then we go through a long, you know, a prolonged chop solidation, sync up perfectly with the previous 2 cycles here in like November, start ramping up with them. Then we had a bad Q1. Now we're lagging the previous 2 cycles. So it's like we go through these phases of like leading and lagging. And another prime example of that is look at the yellow cycle, which was last cycle. We were way ahead of 2017, right? Way ahead of the green cycle. Then we have a huge mid-cycle correction, actually start lagging 2017 and underperform it, right? So we go through these periods of, you know, prolonged, you know, overperformance, you know, from a time-based perspective, and I guess lead and lag, right? So it's like we were leading in March and now we are lagging in March and now we're kind of ramping. So I'm like, it's possible we could play a really big game of catch up here from a cyclical perspective. And by the way, guys, this is a chart on the BB terminal. If you are a BB terminal user, check it out. If you're not a BB terminal user, reconsider everything that you're doing in your life because you want to have access to these tools. We put them all together for you guys. So yeah, I mean, it's
200K Bitcoin or dinner with Jay-Z.
I don't really want to have dinner with him, man. I don't know.
You know the meme though, right?
I think it was like 500K or dinner with Jay-Z or something. Yeah, dude, give me the 500K. Absolutely. One other chart that I'd love to show you guys here. This is one of my favorites, is the Bitcoin terminal price indicator. I've been talking about this in videos, even when we had these little corrections over here. We've never had a Bitcoin cycle top without price deviating the Bitcoin terminal price, which is the upper bound, right? And then also perfect bear market scoop is somewhere down by the realized price and balance price, which is the lower bands, right? But like, let's go through, let's look at last cycle, right? the top was in once you deviated the terminal price. Like that was your Schmiko top. How about last cycle? Deviated the terminal line. We technically had a double top, right? But that was effectively, your Bitcoin top.
Mhm.
This cycle around, the terminal price right now is at 207K and change, and it's moving up every single day. So is this cycle different? I guess we're going to find out, but based on this on-chain indicator, the Bitcoin terminal price, it's been a pretty reliable, and this goes all the way back throughout the history of Bitcoin. Like we go all the way back in here to like 2013. So this is 13 years of data. We've never really deviated from this band, the Bitcoin terminal price band. It's just it hasn't happened yet. So again, you could say this time is different. Okay, then I guess we'll find out, right? But as of right now, doesn't look like it. So interesting. I keep a really close eye on this one. I find this one to be incredibly reliable.
Yeah, I like that one. I like the I was literally about to say the MVRV.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. I mean, this was
Bitcoin.
Let's remove the Bitcoin price. It's like you can kind of see like every cycle there's diminishing returns, but kind of looks like we want to put in at least one more big stab higher here. So
my options quant is he's very bullish right now for the summer. Like I have not seen him this bullish probably since like 25K.
Is he buying those 150K calls?
He likes to sell vol, but he's I think they're pretty long, like spot Bitcoin and stuff like that. I'm sure they're buying calls though, honestly.
Nice.
But yeah, he was like, it's pretty rare to see any bullish rhetoric from him at all. And he was like, yeah, 90-day golden bull run or something like that a week ago.
That is just the best news I've ever heard. 90-day golden bull run, bro. That is just music to my ears, man. You don't even understand. 90-day golden bull run. That's all I want, man, is I want like 3, 4, 5 months of altcoin outperformance. That's literally it. I mean, I guess that's kind of a big ask, right? But that's what
I mean, speaking of altcoins, there's one sector in particular that just looks absolutely insane to me right now, and there are so many meme coins right now. And I think we kind of talked about it at the start of the show. Bitcoin's a bit of like a canary for those liquidity shifts, and I think within crypto, meme coins are a canary for that as well. I'm not calling for a meme coin super cycle. I'm not going to do that, but
come on, Rod, please.
At the end of the day, why would you buy something like ARB token or like Optimism when you could buy something much less liquid and ultimately, something that with a lower cost of capital gives you access to, the type of ROI that you're looking for out of altcoins, right? It's like the purest expression of beta.
I totally agree with you, man. And I mean, I look at this here, and I think we are pretty early to the move, generally speaking. Like our spot versus perps basis is still deeply negative. Like, look at this is when like things get really frothy. When this goes into the green, we still have a negative basis right here. And also something we've seen in the past is open interest will typically lead on a higher time frame Bitcoin into price discovery. Like you can see right here, Bitcoin open interest made a new all-time high before Bitcoin really did right here. And what we're seeing right here is open interest is skyrocketing. Bitcoin now is in price discovery, but this lead and this lag of aggregated open interest with a negative basis is an incredibly deadly combination. It's precisely what we saw right over here, which is open interest leading, negative basis, and then you just get an absolute takeoff. It's a unicorn setup, man. It's tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous.
That agger is going wild right now. Jeez.
I can slow it down a little bit.
You probably need to filter out some smaller orders.
Let's put it at 4,500 minimum order price.
I always go 6-figure orders and more.
It might be too slow for me. I want a little bit of activity, you know.
I need that dopamine rush.
Yeah.
I will I think the first time I started like seriously listening to Agar was during that Luna crash. Man, that was just so crazy. Just cascading liquidations. But no, when the tape is lit, I actually I can't even remember a time when, I guess I was kind of listening to it when Bitcoin went from like, do you remember the Cointelegraph? I'm sure you guys remember the Cointelegraph fake tweet that sent us up like 3 or 4K almost instantly.
Yeah.
I was listening to Agar like right after that.
That's got to be fun. It's like looking at a slot machine.
Well, it's just funny because I know there are some people who will just like sit in their office and have Agar playing on in the background. Imagine like a headline like that dropping and seeming like a bomb just went off in your office.
Yeah, man.
I remember when we listened live to the Agar here on the
Yeah,
I missed that, man.
the show, and then people were like, "I'm getting gambling addiction just watching this."
Wait, do we have the audio on there, Max, or no?
Yeah, I have it off though because, I mean, for obvious reasons, it's pretty intense. So
It is.
Didn't Will hate the Agar?
Yeah.
I think he did.
dude, how can you hate the Agar? You gotta love the Agar, man. The Agar's the best.
I miss Will on the show.
Yeah, me too.
We're gonna have to get him back on one day while Bitcoin's pumping.
Yeah, we will. But yeah, there's definitely noise on our Agar. I can confirm that. I keep it off though. It's a little much for me. I'll be honest. It's a little much. But yeah, it's let's see what funding's at. Yeah, I mean funding's really just kind of coming out of, you know, this net prolonged negative region right here. I mean, we're early to this move, guys. Like,
I think altcoin funding especially is still very tame.
yeah, it is. We're not showing the signs of being like truly heated up like we have in the past. So
it's always when it's not, I mean, I feel like Bitcoin funding has been elevated at parts and it's just kind of, you know, it kind of had a bit of a delay before you saw it reflect in price negatively. But altcoin funding, when that starts to get overheated, it usually does not take long for that to impact the market, just because liquidity ends up getting so stretched. And the sentiment too, when that happens, is always when people start to meme funding, right? Like, oh, I'm making money. Funding doesn't matter. You're like, you are probably within 48 hours of a huge wipe.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. For sure. I still think, I mean, this move is nothing I'm seeing here is indicating that we're like, I mean, so in terms of funding, right? We were just talking about funding. Look at when funding has gotten, you know, frothy in the past. You know, it's like this was the spike into the ETF. Here, I can put this in log. This was the spike into the ETF. This was, you know, top right here. Over in here, we saw a big spike. Like, we're not even
close to that.
We're just not seeing the typical signs of like we are getting really, really frothy. We have a negative spot versus perps basis. Open interest is leading Bitcoin, while in price discovery, funding is very, very tame right now. She's looking good, guys. She's looking good. I kind of feel like it might even be a this weekend thing. I do. I feel like we might get that gap and go. Because every like real mania phase for Bitcoin seems to begin with like a CME gap, right? That then the following week everybody wants it to fill, and then you just keep ripping and ripping and ripping and ripping. I wouldn't mind a little CME gap and go this weekend. I would not. It's been kind of characteristic of every bull market so far. It's been like a CME, or a CME gets left behind until the bear market.
That'll be that ECME at some point.
For sure.
Well, we need to get back above that, but
Yeah, definitely.
What's ETH up to? Yeah, I like the slow grind on ETH. I thought a few times this week it had the opportunity to wipe, kind of the lows of the structure that we've been ranging in for the last 2 weeks, and it's been resilient. I also, what I like to see is, our risk on indicators, risk oning, right? I mean, we've talked about Hyperliquid. We should probably talk about Fartcoin, which, one of our longtime subscribers, shout out Franco Phil, posted in the comments. Bonk guy is pushing the rumor, right? So like always be an advocate for your bags, but he's pushing the rumor that Robinhood is probably about to end up listing Fartcoin.
I could see it.
yeah.
Honestly, I could see it. I mean, Robinhood was pretty early to list like Pepe and Whiff. I remember.
Yeah, they were. Were they before Coinbase?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think too, if you're Robinhood, Coinbase has not listed Fartcoin yet. Be trying to one up them.
I think it's possible.
I think.
I mean, I would be
Robinhood one. Coinbase is close behind, right?
I almost wonder if like Hood against Coinbase is maybe the pair trade, if you're into that kind of thing. Like the pair trade to position for long term, because I mean, for one, like the UI and UX on Robinhood is just so much better than Coinbase. Coinbase hasn't really made any upgrades to their exchange or platform, and I mean, they literally just added like 4-hour candles last week. I don't think they really care about.
They were bragging about that too, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and then the whole data breach stuff came out last week also. I mean, why wouldn't at this point Robinhood become American retail's primary place to buy crypto? Maybe even Europe, because I know Robinhood EU exists also.
Keep shilling my bags, Tommy.
I don't know if I love how this chart looks. This is Hood coin. It's been like up only.
Probably some pullback into that inefficiency, but I think that pullback is a buy on this pair. I don't think it's going to range. I really kind of think Hood is going to really outperform Coinbase going forward.
Yeah.
So you're thinking like dip into here and then run it up?
Yeah.
That was my sort of logic. Wait, I gotta find what exactly day was it, but I think it was like last year. Yeah, I think that was like Q3, Q4, 2024. And I was like, why hold Coinbase if I can just hold Hood or MicroStrategy? And I still don't have the answer.
Yeah. I mean, for a long time, Coinbase was, it benefited from being the place, or rather like the way that you could get exposure to crypto through US equities. And that, has obviously shifted. Like you said, Jack, is Hood and MicroStrategy are proving to be, I would say better beta in recent, like over the last year or so.
Tommy, did they get options? Like, did that deal go through with Bitfinex or
Deribit?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I haven't looked on their platform to see if they actually have options. I'm not really thrilled by the fact that Deribit is going to be owned by Coinbase, but I'm sure it will, increase their volume a little bit. Ultimately, there's going to be a lot of competition, though, I would imagine, from iBit. Coinbase is kind of in a weird spot where like all of their niches are kind of being corroded a little bit by competition. Like every niche that I can think of that Coinbase has, I can point to somebody else doing it better right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because that Deribit deal went through, I can't imagine, U.S. crypto options are that far off. Right. And that Coinbase should probably have them.
I need it. Like I need air to breathe. Really, I need ETH options on my TradFi brokerage. I need that BlackRock liquidity. Because IBIT options are just so nice to trade. I mean, yeah, the IVs are probably a little bit more elevated than native, which makes sense because the spreads are a lot tighter, but it's just so much nicer to trade on a TradFi brokerage. And I see some people mentioning Kraken. I do think they're going to IPO this year at some point. They'd be smart to do it pretty soon.
Dude, this Bitcoin low time frame price action is just it's just launch it already. Come on.
I'm still confused by the divergence right now between BTC and MSTR. Usually MSTR was leading BTC, and right now it just refuses to go higher. I'm not sure what to think of it.
Well, we know that the more expensive Bitcoin is, the later in the cycle, you know, there's not going to be as dramatic of outperformance of MSTR against Bitcoin.
Well, I think if, like, my thesis is if BTC goes to price discovery, so should MSTR pretty much. And like the fact that BTC right now is going up so much, like the holdings for Sailor are just absolutely insane. So shouldn't the stock price continue with it?
Do you think the market cares about how the Bitcoin MicroStrategy owns were bought?
Sorry, where they were bought?
Or like how they were bought, right? Because Sailor's kind of debt financing most of these purchases.
Yeah, but the debt isn't out of hand right now. I think the debt is in a pretty like healthy spot, I would say. So I do not think so. I think again we discussed this. I don't think it's an issue right now, but it could be in the future if he doesn't know where to stop.
The pattern on MicroStrategy, I mean, I wouldn't say they're exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of Sol in 2021, the way it topped, which means MicroStrategy will end up making a higher high, but
yeah,
obviously the question is outperformance.
Yeah. Well, ever since sort of, since the 2022 bear market, MSTR has been outperforming and leading mainly on each move. So I still tend to think that should be the case. And the current range kind of does seem like it should be breaking to the upside on a MSTR versus BTC. Don't know, maybe it's just local, divergence or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my only thought is like, okay, maybe this is just such an overextension, like such an overshoot, that it really should have been more like this, So maybe it hasn't made a new high yet, but maybe it's just kind of found like what its fair value is,
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it just shouldn't have gone up to 530 quite yet, back over here in November.
Understand that logic. So basically, like, let's say the little spike in 21st of January, that should have like been the all-time highs on MicroStrategy, and currently it's hypothetically speaking trading above all-time high. But I would still think that like on a the past 2 days when it is breaking all-time highs, I would be expecting MSTR to be sending still. And instead, it's kind of like rejecting over and over again.
Because like, look at this overshoot right here. Like this is what we were talking about. So like, this is this is the Bitcoin all-time high. And that is where it lines up on the MSTR chart. So this was potentially just like a deviation.
Yeah, overshoot.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we could, we really pairing it closer to Bitcoin, like we just ignore that. It's tracking,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure if Bitcoin puts in the the breakout, the meat stick, I'm sure MSTR is going to rip face, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But just needs Bitcoin to stick the landing a little bit. And we're good.
Looks like 7 straight weekly up candle for Bitcoin. I'm not sure when was the last time. 1, 2, 3. I think the last time that happened was December 2023.
We had 8
8.
from October to December, right in here.
Mm-hmm.
During the bull market, last cycle, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then little one kind of kept going.
That
COVID
little one was
recovery.
17% drop though. Not that big from like a logarithmic point of view, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 break and then keep going. Let's see in 2017 or let's see over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then break.
Yeah, I think 8's probably the most you get.
Ooh, how about this?
Oh my, what is that? 2012, 13?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 over here.
Oh man, I don't know if
Obviously, Bitcoin was like $20 or $100, a little different, but I mean, still, you got to count it. How about up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Seems like there's 8 is kind of
the line.
Yeah, so we're on our 7th right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'd say maybe after next week, be a little cautious. But it seems like 8 appears to be the one to look out for, where you get 8 and then your 9th one is a break and then you can keep going.
Look at the weekly RSI, Max.
You don't have to tell me twice.
This is why I think we could get a spike to like 130 before we get a pullback.
A lot can happen in a week. If we get 8 weekly candles, we're on 7 right now. Next one could be a big, big boy.
I think if we go to 130, then the drop probably goes to only like 115 or something.
Yeah.
Sort of
See
like
that? Sorry, go ahead.
That would take people out.
sort of like that pullback that we saw, during 2020.
I mean, the most bullish pullbacks are the ones that everybody wants, but they come from way higher than everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people up here at like,
them.
What's that?
And they're scary looking, so you're not going to want to bid them.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people wanted to pull back at like 105 to 107. It'd be awesome if we get the big shakeout from like 130 down to 110. Just a monster drop, shakeout. Alts die, then everything V recovers, and we just keep going. That's the best. But this weekly RSI, it's pretty revealing. Like this is when the fun begins. If we can get above that 70 level, it's right here. Not quite there yet, but getting close.
I hope they finally start to outperform, man.
What price do you think they finally start buying Bitcoin puppets again?
Higher than here.
Yeah, clearly much higher than here.
Yeah.
How are my puppets doing? I forgot that I own them.
They're up like 100% off the low, but like they're still.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, not bad. I mean, if Bitcoin keeps ripping and the floor holds, I'm okay with that. It's just basically me owning a little bit of Bitcoin. I literally forgot that I own those. It's hilarious. I bought them so long ago because Chimp bullied me into it. And then he dumped on me. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of the show. But before you go, we're going to drop a little coupon code. If you thought that the terminal looked like a cool platform and you want to use it and try it, you can get 50% off of your first month, guys. It literally has like all in. I mean, it's probably like 300 indicators in the terminal, but then we also just rolled out our brand new BB indicators page right here. 22 brand new custom proprietary trading view indicators, which is included in your BB terminal membership. So if you get the terminal, you get all the features on this site, bbterminal.com, portfolio tracking, super charts, heat maps, spaghetti charts, the DCA page. We went over a couple of those charts, calculator. Like, I mean, you got everything, guys. You got literally everything all in one, the whole thing. Plus now, as of yesterday, we just launched this. You can connect your TradingView account and we will give you access to 22 brand new custom proprietary TradingView indicators as we built these from scratch. They are absolutely fantastic. 22 of them. All right. 22 of them. So again, you get BB Terminal and you get the indicators for your TradingView as well. There's 22 of them all bundled together. If you guys are interested in trying it, I will drop this coupon code right here. Terminal 50 at checkout, guys. Terminal 50 at checkout. You can get 50% off your first month. So it's basically going to be $48 for your first month. Okay. So to give you an exact price, just to show you how ridiculously affordable this is, it's $48.50 divided by 30. It's $1.60. It's $1.60. Hang on one second. Let me just do something real quick. I need to move. Okay, sorry, I had to move. So I'm talking. I had to move myself up there. So sorry, Tommy. You got pushed down to the bottom. Actually, since Jack isn't even there, there we go.
Wow.
All right, guys. Code Terminal 50 for half off your first month, guys. Half off your first month. You get everything on BB Terminal. Plus, you get these 22 indicators. It's $1.60 per day for your first month. If you don't like it, if you're like, you know what, 300 plus indicators are not enough for me, then you can cancel it and only cost you $1.60 per day, but you're going to love it. It's top tier, guys. It's top quality. So use this code while it lasts. We are not going to keep it active forever, guys. We just rolled this new section out with the indicators. So we're kind of being nice by, using this discount code. We want you guys to use it. But it's like eventually we're gonna probably just stop doing coupon codes. That's just kind of how it works. So jump on the coupon code while you can, guys. Try out the indicators again. BB Terminal, absolutely world class, best of its kind, all in one product. It's got literally everything you could ever need or want to navigate markets. I use it literally every single day. I use these indicators every single day. I track my portfolio every single hour of the day, guys. It's a fantastic UI. You just input. We got 62 chains. You copy paste your address, syncs up your wallet, merges wallets together. It's got pie charts. It's got 24-hour weekly tracking, the whole thing, guys. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's like we built out this one super website with everything, all of our favorite indicators, all of our tools, everything. If you're in crypto, anything you could ever need or want to succeed in these markets, guys. And we're giving you a coupon. Terminal 50 for half off your first month. Get it while it lasts. I don't know what the cutoff date is yet. We haven't really decided, but it's not going to be here for that much longer. So again, give it a try, guys. Terminal 50 at checkout. Go to bbterminal.com and sign up. If you're not ready to actually sign up, even with the code, we do have some free options on here. You can still, just by putting in your email, sign up, use our portfolio tracker and our super charts 100% for free. So if you're like, you know what, I'd love to try it out, check it out for free before I consider actually signing up and getting everything. Check this out, guys. Just put in your email. But guys, thanks so much for being here. We will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Market Check. But everybody have a great day. Stay safe and take care. I might be frozen.
No.
No.
It won't let me end the stream.
Debate it.
Oh, his Wi-Fi. Here.